around the squad right now.
Yeah, she's doing good. Obviously, she's disappointed with what happened on the day, and it was a split-second emotional moment that happened, but we've got round her. Obviously, it's good that she's acknowledged that and she's put her apology out, and now we just wait to see what FIFA do, and we just move on from it now.
Yeah, that wait, does that seem a little cruel? So personally, she's waiting to find out whether she'll play at this tournament.
Yeah, obviously I can imagine it's a very difficult position for her to be in, but whether they did it on the same day or not, it's not going to affect us in a way that we're not defined by one player. I think it's important that everyone's there for her and that we are there for us as a team and as coaching staff, but ultimately whatever decision they make, we have to unfortunately accept that and just get on with the game. There's bigger things than just focusing on one player right now.
Are you going into this game?
Yeah, obviously it's part and parcel of the game. There's a lot of it is mentality, a lot of it is resilience, a lot of it is the physical aspect, which you've seen a lot of players had to go and play 120 minutes, which is not easy against such a tough opposition. So I think it's just a case of now we're just glad to be. We had a good day's rest yesterday, so we can regroup again. We got back on the training pitch, and we can just focus on our game on Saturday, because I think we can talk about resilience and mentality in all these ways, but that's tournament football. There's a lot of experienced players in this group that's used to having to do that, and there's a lot of girls that it's their first tournament as well, so they're having to get used to it. So it's a fine balance, but I think the girls are in good spirits, and like I say, we can't be more excited to get going again on Saturday.
Talk about the team, but
Address team.
Yeah, I think, look, any team in this tournament can't be underestimated. We've seen teams knock out bigger teams or expected teams to get through, so I think anything can happen, and I think for us they've shown their brilliance. They've shown that they can take out big teams. They've got some key quality players, so I think it's as much as we can nullify their threats as possible and do the job that we know that we can, we should hopefully have a good game.
I'm sure you saw
ahead of Saturday.
Look, every game's physical in its own way. I think, like I said before, if it gets too physical, I'm sure the referees will step in when it comes into regards to safety of players. But ultimately, I just think it's a case, the biggest danger is just not to underestimate them. Like I said, they knocked out Germany, or they beat Germany, should I say, who's one of the biggest teams in this tournament. So I think we just have to make sure we approach it in a good manner, knowing that they can be physical. We can also be physical and match that. And I think it's just going to be important that we don't get too into more of a fight than actually playing football, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to play the game that we love and hopefully do it in a good, stylish way as well.
And obviously you were all in this amazing setting. I mean, I was...
Deal with that. Yeah, no, I think it's important that we keep it. I think, as we've seen over the last few years and since the Euros especially, the amount of numbers have grown in the women's game and people's interest in viewing numbers. I think hopefully we can still engage the fans enough to want to watch us. I know there's a lot of people that have turned to women's football because they've enjoyed watching us. It's not just because the men aren't playing. So hopefully we can continue that, because we want to make sure that there's viewing numbers as high as possible. Whether they choose to watch the men's game or not, that we can't affect that. I think ultimately we're going to go and try and put out our best performance and give the fans something to watch, and that they'll want to keep coming back and watching us.
Thanks, Sandra. We'll go to Good Morning Britain in the middle of the room.